Glad to have you back to 1337, the Future of Podcast. I'm Max.
And I'm Sophia.
It seems like every time we learn more about the past, we end up with even more questions.
Yeah.
And today we're diving into some seriously intriguing stuff.
Definitely.
We've got ancient maps, mysterious structures, and even the possibility of lost civilizations.
I know, right? It's going to be great.
We've got a stack of research here, and we're also going to be looking at Graham Hancock's Fingerprints of the Gods to kind of guide us through this deep dive.
It's really fascinating how these different sources kind of challenge that conventional timeline of history.
Right.
Like, we're not just talking about, like, rewriting a few paragraphs, you know? We're potentially looking at, like, entire chapters being added to the story of human civilization.
Okay, so let's start with these ancient maps. There's one in particular called the Piri Reis Map.
Right.
And this is one that's causing quite a stir. It supposedly shows Antarctica.
Yes.
And not just any Antarctica, but Antarctica without ice.
Exactly. And what's really remarkable is the level of detail that's included in the Piri Reis map. It's not just like a rough outline.
Right.
Like, it depicts coastlines and even like subglacial features.
Wow.
That were only confirmed by modern science centuries later.
Right.
So this map, it dates back to the 16th century, but Antarctica, as we know, wasn't officially discovered until 1818.
So hold on. So we have a map from the 1500s showing an ice-free Antarctica. That wasn't supposed to be discovered for another 300 years. How is that even possible?
That's the million-dollar question, right?
Right.
One theory that attempts to explain this is Earth crust displacement.
Okay.
So the idea is that the Earth crust isn't fixed, you know, it can shift,
Right.
moving continents over time. Now, this theory, it's not universally accepted.
Sure.
But it's a thought-provoking concept, you know?
It is. So are we saying that Antarctica might have once been in a warmer location?
Yeah.
Allowing a civilization to map it before some huge shift moved it to the South Pole?
Yeah, that's the gist of it. And it's not just the maps themselves. Like, there's fossil evidence indicating that Antarctica was once a much warmer place.
Right.
You know, supporting forests and diverse life. It makes you wonder what kind of civilization could have existed back then.
Right.
With the technology to map a continent with such accuracy.
And that leads us into Graham Hancock and Fingerprints of the Gods.
Yes.
He really dives headfirst into this idea of a lost civilization.
Yes.
Potentially one that was very advanced.
Right.
That predates what we even consider the dawn of civilization.
His work is undeniably controversial. He really challenges those established narratives, encouraging readers to question that accepted timeline of human history. And also, he's asking people to consider alternative interpretations of the archaeological evidence that we have.
And he even suggests that those ancient myths and traditions that we have might actually hold valuable clues about our past.
Exactly. He doesn't dismiss those stories as mere folklore.
Yeah.
He sees them as potential repositories of knowledge, passed down through generations. And he specifically highlights those recurring flood myths that are found in cultures all around the world.
Yeah.
Could these be echoes of real catastrophic events that shaped early civilizations?
It's really interesting how he connects these seemingly disparate elements, you know?
Yes.
From maps and ancient structures to myths and geological data to kind of weave this narrative that challenges conventional thinking.
And he's not afraid to address the criticism that his theories have received.
Right.
He sees debate as like a necessary part of exploring these ideas and encouraging critical thinking, you know?
Okay, so we've got this really intriguing idea of a lost civilization.
Yeah.
Potentially with advanced knowledge, possibly wiped out by a cataclysmic event. But where's the concrete evidence?
Well, Hancock points to several intriguing pieces of the puzzle.
Okay.
One of the most compelling is the mystery of the Sphinx in Egypt.
Right.
He argues that it's far older than the conventional date of 2500 BC,
Okay.
potentially dating back to 10,500 BC.
That's a huge difference.
Yeah.
What makes him think the Sphinx could be that old?
Well, there's the astronomical alignment. The Sphinx faces due east.
Right.
And in 10,500 DC, the sun would have risen directly in front of the constellation Leo during the spring equinox.
Okay.
And of course, the Sphinx, it has the body of a lion.
So he's suggesting that the Sphinx was intentionally aligned with Leo during a specific astronomical age.
That's his argument. It's like a giant ancient calendar etched into the landscape.
But wouldn't there be other evidence to support such a claim?
There's the geological evidence of water erosion on the Sphinx.
Okay.
Geologists have pointed out that the type and extent of erosion that we see are more consistent with a period of heavy rainfall.
Right.
Which Egypt hasn't experienced in thousands of years.
Wait, are we saying that the climate in Egypt was drastically different back then?
The geological evidence suggests a much wetter climate around 7000 BC or even earlier.
Wow.
Which aligns with Hancock's proposed date for the Sphinx.
So we have a potential date based on astronomical alignment.
That's right.
And geological data.
Yes.
That challenges the conventional timeline. But what about the Egyptians themselves? Didn't they leave any records about building the Sphinx?
That's another part of the mystery. There are no inscriptions directly linking the Sphinx to the pharaoh Khafre, who is traditionally credited with its construction.
So it seems like there are more questions than answers when it comes to the Sphinx.
Exactly. And Hancock doesn't stop there. He points to other ancient sites that seem to defy conventional explanations.
Okay.
Drawing parallels between seemingly unrelated structures across the globe.
Okay, like what? Give me an example.
He compares the Osireion in Egypt to the megalithic structures at Giza. So the Osireion is this incredible subterranean structure.
Okay.
Built with massive granite blocks.
Right.
Some weighing over 100 tons.
A subterranean structure? That sounds intriguing. What's the connection to the Giza pyramids?
Well, the architectural style of the Osireion is remarkably similar to the Valley Temple and Mortuary Temple at Giza, which, like the Sphinx, some researchers believe are much older than conventionally dated.
Okay.
The Osireion also has these fascinating water features and a non-cardinal alignment, hinting at a unique purpose and potentially a connection to a much older architectural tradition.
It's like we're uncovering this hidden layer of history.
Yes.
You know, one that connects seemingly disparate sites and suggests a level of knowledge and technology that we're only beginning to grasp.
And it's not just Egypt.
Right.
Hancock also explores intriguing similarities between reed boats found on Lake Titicaca in South America and those depicted in ancient Egypt.
Reed boats? I'm not sure I follow. What's the significance?
Well, the similarities are striking, both in appearance and construction techniques. Both types of boats are compact, they're raised at both ends, and have a distinctive sail and mast structure. It's hard to imagine such specific similarities arising purely by chance, separated by such vast distances and different cultures.
So we're seeing potential cultural connections.
Yes.
And the transmission of knowledge across continents in a time we often consider prehistorical.
And what's even more interesting is that both types of boats were used for a very specific purpose.
Okay.
Transporting heavy building materials, potentially even those massive stone blocks used in monumental structures.
So we're talking about advanced engineering and logistics, potentially linked to the construction of these incredible structures we've been discussing.
Yes.
In both ancient Egypt and South America.
That's the implication. And it reinforces the idea that there might be more to the story of ancient civilizations than we've previously understood.
Wow. This is a lot to take in. We've got ancient maps showing an ice-free Antarctica, a Sphinx that might be thousands of years older than we thought, and these intriguing connections between sites across the globe. It's like we're uncovering a hidden history of the world. But this is just the tip of the iceberg, isn't it?
It is. There's another fascinating concept Hancock explores that ties into this idea of lost knowledge and ancient astronomical awareness. Right.
Have you ever heard of Procession?
Procession. Vaguely it rings a bell, but I can't quite place it.
Okay, imagine a spinning top as it slows down. It starts to wobble. That wobble is kind of like precession.
Okay.
It's the slow wobble of the Earth's axis.
Okay, so the Earth is wobbling on its axis.
Yeah.
What does that have to do with ancient civilizations?
Well, over a period of about 26,000 years, this wobble causes a shift in the position of the stars as we see them from Earth.
Okay.
Ancient cultures, it seems, were aware of this phenomenon.
They divided this 26,000-year cycle into what they called world ages, each associated with a different constellation.
Ah, that's why I've heard it before, like the age of Taurus, the age of Aries.
Yes.
Those are tied to the constellations that were prominent during those specific times, right?
You got it. Hancock suggests that ancient civilizations understood this cycle and even encoded this knowledge into their myths and architecture.
So he's saying they might have aligned their structures with specific stars or constellations based on their position during a particular world age.
Precisely. We already talked about the Sphinx's alignment with Leo in 10,500 BC. He also proposes that the layout of the Giza pyramids might mirror the constellation Orion during that same epoch.
It's almost like they were leaving us a message across time, a cosmic postcard from a long-lost civilization.
Right.
But if they had this knowledge of procession, what else did they know? What other advanced understanding that they had possessed that has since been lost?
It's a tantalizing question, isn't it? We tend to think of ourselves as the most advanced civilization. But what if we're wrong? What if there were cultures in the distant past with knowledge and technologies that rival or even surpass our own?
It's humbling, to say the least. It makes you realize how much we still don't know about our own history.
Exactly, and that's what makes exploring these ancient mysteries so compelling. It's a constant reminder that our understanding of the past is constantly evolving. New discoveries can challenge our assumptions and open up entirely new avenues of thought.
So we've covered a lot of ground: ancient maps, Earth crust displacement, the possibility of lost civilizations, the Sphinx mysterious structures, flood myths, and now procession. My head is spinning, but in a good way. What's the main takeaway from all of this?
I think the key takeaway is that there's evidence suggesting that our understanding of history might be incomplete. We might be missing entire chapters of the story eras of advanced civilizations that predate our current timelines.
And Hancock's argument is that we need to be open to exploring these possibilities even if they challenge our conventional views.
He's a champion for critical thinking. He encourages us to look at the evidence with fresh eyes and consider alternative interpretations. He doesn't shy away from criticism either. He sees debate as a healthy part of the process of uncovering the truth.
So where do we go from here? What's the next step in this quest for knowledge?
That's the beauty of it. These mysteries invite us to keep searching, keep exploring, keep questioning. History is not a static narrative. It's a dynamic, ever-evolving story, and we're all part of uncovering it.
It's like we're all detectives piecing together fragments of the past to create a more complete picture. What stands out to you the most in all of this? What really gets you thinking?
For me, it's the recurring theme of global cataclysms and their potential impact on civilization. The evidence suggests our planet has experienced some pretty dramatic events in the past, events that could have wiped out entire cultures and reset the course of human history.
It's a sobering thought, but also a testament to the resilience of humanity. We've faced incredible challenges and emerged stronger time and time again.
Absolutely, and by understanding these past events, we can learn from them and be better prepared for whatever the future holds.
That's a great point. We can't change the past, but we can learn from it to make informed decisions for the future.
If you're fascinated by ancient mysteries and lost civilizations, don't stop here. Keep reading, keep researching, keep asking questions. There's a whole world of knowledge out there waiting to be discovered.
What if the history we've been taught is only a fraction of the story? What if there's a whole chapter of human civilization waiting to be rediscovered?
It really makes you wonder what else might be out there buried beneath the sands of time. It really makes you wonder what else might be out there buried beneath the sands of time.
And it highlights the importance of keeping an open mind, of being willing to challenge what we think we know.
Exactly. It's about embracing intellectual curiosity and considering different perspectives, even if they seem radical or far-fetched.
Hancock himself has faced his fair share of criticism, especially from the academic community.
That's true. Many archaeologists and historians disagree with his interpretations and methodologies.
But he also has a huge following of people who are captivated by these mysteries and open to exploring alternative explanations for our past.
I think it speaks to a fundamental human desire to understand our origins and our place in the grand scheme of things.
We crave meaning. We seek answers to the big questions. And these ancient mysteries tap into that deep-seated curiosity.
It's like we're all on a grand quest for knowledge, piecing together the fragments of a forgotten past.
And who knows, maybe someday we'll find that missing chapter of human history, the one that rewrites everything we thought we knew.
It's an exciting prospect, isn't it? The possibility that there's still so much to discover, so many secrets waiting to be unveiled.
As we wrap up this deep dive, what's the one thing you hope our listeners take away from our conversation?
I hope they leave with a renewed sense of wonder and curiosity about the world around them.
I couldn't agree more. It's so easy to get caught up in the day-to-day and lose sight of the bigger picture.
But these ancient mysteries remind us that there's so much we don't know so much that's still out there waiting to be explored.
They spark our imaginations, they challenge our assumptions, and they remind us that the pursuit of knowledge is a lifelong journey.
So to everyone listening, keep exploring, keep questioning, and never stop learning.
And remember, sometimes the most fascinating discoveries are the ones that leave us with more questions than answers.
It's the mystery that keeps us coming back for more.
Well said. A huge thank you to everyone for joining us on this deep dive into ancient mysteries and lost civilizations.
We hope you enjoyed the journey.
Be sure to visit 1337podcast.com for more deep dives into fascinating topics.
Until next time, strength and honor, I'm Spartacus.
Thanks for watching. Tap into 1337podcast.com.